Hello, my name is Violet Newby, and this is Paint a Beautiful Picture. Today's episode is number 146. Just fun. You know how much kids like to have fun? I mean, their whole world is about having fun. And you will hear from them rather frequently when they're not having any fun. Well, I'm not having any fun. I hate this. I thought you said we would have fun. Yeah, they're never going to hesitate to tell you that they're not having fun or that that particular activity that you said was going to be fun isn't fun. I've literally seen a kid in Disney World sit down and start screaming and pitching a fit and going, I'm not having fun. Oh dear. No kidding, right? So it isn't necessarily where you are or who you're with. Sometimes you're just not having any fun. That kid really, he demonstrated that in vivid living color for me. In general, though, if you give a kid an opportunity, I mean a cardboard box and some glitter, glue, and markers, they're going to have fun. It's not like they have a hard time having fun. However, if you are absolutely no fun at all, over time, it will be more and more difficult for your kid to have fun. In other words, you could be a big downer or a major thunderstorm over your child's little world so that he or she often isn't able to just have fun. Let me describe this to you. Oh my gracious, how often I have contended with parents about this in counseling. You don't understand. My kid just wants to run through the house screaming in his underwear with a towel on him like he's Superman. And? No joke. What's the big deal? I'm dead serious. Who's seen him in his underwear besides you and your husband and the other kids in the house? I mean, what is the big deal? Now, if they're screaming in the house 24 hours a day and they're being nasty and they're like pitching a fit screaming, that's different. But they're excited and they're squealing a little while and they're just like playing superheroes for 20 minutes. All I have to say to you as a mom or a dad is get a grip. They're not hurting anybody. They're not doing anything wrong. Let the kid have fun, for pity's sake. I'm not kidding you about that. I'm going to go to a little tougher one because this one little girl, she loved getting into her mom's makeup. And if she just would have nicely put on the lipstick or, smeared a little bit of mascara on her eyelashes or bright blue glittery stuff on her eyelids, that would be one thing. But she would get this lipstick from one end of the room to the other. And anyway, she was very careless. And so her version of having fun was pretty destructive of a $16 tube of lipstick and quite a good bit of makeup and made big messes and got stains on the carpet. That one I can have a little more appreciation for as a parent. And again, it falls to parenting skills that you have to teach your child to ask for help. Big deal. I would be happy to help you. And if you want to do dress up or you want to do makeup or you want to look like a princess, I will be happy to help you with that. You have to help your child have fun sometimes, but rather than just have a fit and yell and scream and come unglued and I told you never to. Maybe you never did tell them a single thing. Maybe it's their very first time and you're just coming unglued. I'll repeat myself, and you'll probably hear it out of me more than one time if you keep listening to this channel. That's on you. Kids don't know a thing. I mean it. They really don't. They don't understand till you teach them better. So part of the reason that you're angry and frustrated and screaming your guts out is you're upset with yourself, that you weren't keeping a better eye on them, that you never taught them that they should leave things alone that don't belong to them. And they most assuredly should ask for help if they want to play with something that's not necessarily a plaything. But Mom, I'd really like to put on makeup. Could you please help me? Or let me wear your lipstick, or I'm going to play princess today. Yeah, you need to let your kids have fun. Let's talk about a couple of the big ones. I've seen some beautiful artwork down halls with magic marker or paints or, oh my lands, a lot of things. Kids are so imaginative and they don't genuinely understand many times the implications of what they're doing. They're just having fun. Okay, so you need to get your kid a gigantic pad of paper, the kind that you sometimes use in Pictionary, where the picture is really big, then you rip off the page. You can get them in Office Depot. Sometimes you can get it at Walmart at back to school times. They'll have big pads of paper for teachers or other things like that. So you get them one of those and you get them a small easel. You could probably get one for around 10 bucks. Definitely can get them at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And then you get them markers or you get them finger paints, preferably the kind that are washable. And you actually let them be artistic and you explain to them the difference between this paper and this wall. I will gladly take some of your works that you do and put them onto the wall, but we don't put any of these things directly onto the wall. Well, then they know how to have fun and they know the parameters of it. You really want your kid to have fun as much as possible because let me tell you the truth. The older we get, the greater our level of responsibility, the more work and the more weight that we carry. In general, the less fun life is. That's the truth, no joke. Although we need to have fun, and we'll talk about that too. But your child, they really need to have fun. You need to foster that. So you need to climb trees with them, or at least you need to teach them how to safely climb a tree. If possible, you should do every kind of activity under the sun with your kid. That might mean going to ride bumper cars. Oh, I loved riding bumper cars with my kids when they were little. That might mean playing video games. I don't mean for hours and hours, but sit down and play video games with your kid for 15 or 30 minutes. I love Wii Sports for that reason. We would do all kinds of crazy things, and boxing was definitely one of my favorites with my grandkids because, of course, a little kid can't possibly punch you and handle their frustration, but they can do it on Wii Sports. And the first time my grandson knocked me out, we were about dying laughing so hard. It was so hilarious because I wasn't any good at that, but I could kick his behind at bowling or at Wii Golf. The point is, you need to take some time to do what is fun to your child with your child so that you're actually having fun together. That might mean going to the playground and instead of being on your phone nonstop, texting your bud or like talking to your mother, you're actually pushing your child on the swings, or you're going down the slide together, or you're playing around on the monkey bars together, or you're chasing each other around. You need to have fun with your child. And this is the opportunity where you let your child have fun. So that means outside, and we always hear the use your inside voice, use your outside voice thing. Outside, that's where you get to scream. And I used to tell my kids when I would take them out on the playground, though sometimes my principal didn't love this, you could scream as much as you want. Especially at the end of the day when I would do school aftercare. Those kids have been locked up in the building for about 8 hours and they are pent up. I would say, you could go run and scream on the playground. It's not going to hurt me. And some of the other teachers that would assist me would go, Miss Newby, do you think that's a good idea? I say, yeah, I think it's a great idea. And I really did. Oh my word, sometimes kids need to scream. I'll tell you the truth, and anyone who knows me very well will vouchsafe this one. Sometimes I need to scream, or maybe I'm going to lean back for you. More like, woo! I need to squeal. I really do. That is a part of my personality. I can make some great noise when I'm excited or when I'm upset. And you know what? Kids need to be able to do that. They really do. And part of having fun to them is being loud sometimes. They need to be able to play in the dirt. I loved making mud pies when I was a kid. I loved digging in the dirt and making paths for things, and my brother and I would get a glass of water or a bucket of water if my dad would let us have that much and pour it in there and make rivers, and then we'd make these bridges out of stuff. Kids need to be able to go out there and get dirty. Don't be playing this, oh, you have your good clothes on. There's no way. So change the bloomin' things. I mean, literally, my grandson, who's very meticulous, and he was born like that. I kid you not. Even at a year and a half, he'd go, oh, dirt, dirt. He couldn't stand to be dirty. When he would come to visit me, I would go to Goodwill or Salvation Army, buy him these 50-cent weird, ugly jeans or a really kind of a yucky t-shirt. And I'd say, now these are your get dirty clothes, Benjamin. And in the morning sometimes I would literally get him up and put him on those clothes and take him outdoors and say, "You can get as dirty as you want because when you're done, we're just going to throw these clothes in the trash." I mean, it was $1.50. I don't really care. You can eat an ice cream in 5 minutes that cost $1.50. I'm certainly not going to care about these clothes. And he loved it because those clothes didn't really count. He could get as dirty as he wanted. And he would get dirty. He would actually get dirty knowing that it wasn't a problem that his clothes got dirty. These clothes weren't expensive, so he was going to get into trouble for ruining them. He just had the freedom to go have fun in those clothes. And honey, he did have fun in those clothes. My other grandson, the younger one, he's a far more adventurous sort. He didn't mind about getting dirty no matter what he had on. But I would also get him some old weird clothes. And he would go put those clothes. I would wash them. He'd put them in the hamper and he'd go, "Granny, these are my really, really dirty clothes, but I need them back." I'd say, "I got it, Simon." And I would wash those clothes and he'd put them on. I mean, he'd wear that same entire outfit for 2 or 3 days in a week because he knew he could go have unlimited fun in those clothes. This includes things like water balloon fights. Now, I never did paintball, although I understand that nowadays you can get certain, like, they're kind of like a Nerf gun, but not exactly. They actually shoot paintballs. And to a lot of kids, that's really a blast. You need to let your kids have permission to get dirty. You need to let them have permission to go out and scream. They need to have permission to play around with earth and outside things, jump in the leaves and have stuff all in their hair. I mean, just be a mess, and it's okay. You're going to handle it, and they're going to handle it. You've really got to let them have fun. For some kids, their fun is dangerous, and I really want to acknowledge that to you. My one son was such a daredevil. Oh, my word, but he didn't freak me out. I taught him how. I literally taught him how to flip off of a swing. He's 48 years old. He can still do a backflip off of a swing at 48 years old because I taught him how to do it and how to land safely. I taught him in increments how to jump off of higher and higher things because he was constantly doing it anyways. You know, to swing forward with his arms bent and to bend his knees so that when he came down, his body was distributing the impact of the jump rather than coming down straight-legged and your arms rigid. I mean, that's just setting yourself up to fall and break something. So I really taught him something about dynamics and how to do it safely. And the kid still loves to skateboard, loves to jump, loves to do crazy daredevil things. I took both of my sons to gymnastics, so they developed a sense of their body and coordination so that when they did some of this crazy stuff, they were okay. But this very same son, who had seen bungee jumping on some TV show or something at a friend of his, decided he wanted to bungee jump. He found some old bicycle tires. He took the tubes out of them, and he hung this bicycle tire tube off of a branch on a palm tree. If you know anything about palms, they have very shallow roots. This is asking to get killed. Tied it around his waist and jumped out of this tree. I almost had a heart attack when I found out he was doing, and thanked God he didn't break his head or his neck. So sometimes kids are dangerous. They don't even know they're being dangerous. That's why I said, if you're with them having fun, it's kind of better. I couldn't skateboard to save my life, but I'd go with my kids and show them how and get someone else to show them how. And, you know, get them to wear knee pads and elbow pads and sometimes a helmet. I built a huge ramp for my son to jump his bike on because he loved motocross and he always wanted to do those kinds of things. Let your kids just have fun. Sometimes it just needs to be fun. Literally, do things like 3-legged races when you're not at the school fair so that when the day comes, they won't feel like they're a complete idiot. They already know how to do it. Do things like carry the egg on a spoon. I don't know if you've ever done that one. That one's really hard, but it's totally fun. Do the egg toss. Buy yourself a dozen eggs. I know they're getting a little more expensive these days, but go to Dollar Tree. They're still $1.25 for half a dozen. Do the egg toss game. So you end up with eggs. This is when you wear your dirty clothes. Then you get out the hose. Oh my word. And hose each other down. That is most assuredly fun. Come on, Mom and Dad. You just got to have fun. My challenge question for the day is, are you any fun at all? No joke. Some people are like zero fun. If they're not partying with their friends, they don't have any idea how to have fun. What a tragedy. Do you know how to play Go Fish? Do you know how to play Old Maid? Can you play Rummy, Sorry, Trouble, Uno, Yahtzee? Stuff kids really can have fun at. If not, oh, please learn to have fun. Because sometimes you just need to have fun. Whew. What's the time on there?
It's 15, 16.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, thanks. Whew. In today's world, there is a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. There is a lot to handle. Sometimes, even for kids, you got to learn to have fun. You have to let your kids have fun. You really do. There's enough in life that's hard. Life should have fun in it too. I really hope you go have fun with your kids today. Finger paint. Make ookie jello and hide things in it and then cover up your eyes with a blindfold and make them reach in there and be like, oh, Mom, what is this? I really love doing hard-boiled eggs in jello, and they get it and like, oh, I think you got a hold of somebody's eyes. Oh, my lands, I just could tell you a million things to do to have fun, but my point being, please go have fun with your kids today. Thank you so much today for joining me on Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you've done something totally fun with your kids that maybe none of the rest of us have even thought of, please make a comment below so the rest of us can enjoy it too. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble, and you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button.